Hello beautiful souls and welcome back. Today's pick a card reading is how can you heal and be the happiest version of yourself. This is actually inspired by the Magick Of You Oracle guidebook. That's what these top cards are. I was looking through here the other day and the how to use the card section, the suggested question, or just a suggested question, not the suggested question, but a suggested question and how you could phrase that question is, help me learn what can heal me. Help me know how to step into the best and most useful version of myself in this moment. Or to rephrase it, if you are reading for someone else, it says, help me to be of service to this person. Help me share with them ideas and thoughts that will help them be happy, healed, and the best version of themselves. And I thought that was a beautiful question to explore. So that's what this pick a card is going to focus on. How can you be happy, healed, and the best version of yourself? This pick a card reading does feature both tarot cards and oracle cards, and we have 4 piles in front of you. I want you to listen to your intuition and pick the pile that you feel most drawn to. If you feel drawn to multiple piles, that is okay. It may mean that your message is spread out throughout multiple piles. I do also want to remind you that this is a general reading, so not all messages will resonate with everyone, and that is perfectly okay. I want you to take the messages that resonate and leave the rest. So, without further ado, let's get started on this pick a card tarot and oracle reading. We have pile 1, pile 2, pile 3, and pile 4. The timestamps will be listed down in the description box as well as the top pinned comment. I'd also appreciate it if you hit that subscribe button and perhaps leave me a comment. Let me know what pile you picked. So without further ado, let's get started with pile 1. Hello to all of you who picked pile number 1. So this reading is about how you can be happy, healed, and the best version of yourself. This top card is from the Magick Of You Oracle, and this will kind of be the general overview of the energy surrounding you in regards to this question. So we have Lavaria, which says, let love grow. So I feel like for a lot of you who picked pile number 1, there's a lot of hesitation and a lot of almost putting up physical blocks, like not just mental or emotional blocks, or spiritual blocks even, but physically doing things that are preventing you from really receiving love. This could be turning down opportunities to experience things with people. This could be turning down the opportunities to meet new people. Perhaps some of you are introverted, and therefore the idea of, going out meeting new people might be a little scary. But it's about, planting seeds for the future and letting that love grow. You don't have to do anything that you are uncomfortable with. You don't have to do anything that is outside of the boundaries that you set for yourself. But it is, sometimes you do have to push just that little bit, just step out of your comfort zone just a little bit and see what might be there. We also have to remember that as we plant seeds, we can't just expect them to grow instantaneously. When we plant seeds, we have to keep them warm. We have to keep the soil moist. We have to, once they sprout, make sure they're getting enough sunlight. There's a lot of things that you have to do to tend a garden. And you may have to consider your experience, your life, as a garden that you need to tend. You can plant the seeds and hope for, the best opportunities. But without tending that garden, without watering it, without nurturing it, it's really hard to see it bloom and grow to its full potential. I think a very important message too that's coming for you is that you are worth blooming and growing to that full potential. You are worthy of being able to reach for your dreams, and you are worthy of desiring those dreams as well. So letting love grow in all circumstances. So we have the High Priestess. Very spiritual energy, so this could be growing on a spiritual level. It could be tapping into your intuition, especially with that introverted energy I was sensing earlier. It's trusting yourself, trusting your instincts. When a situation doesn't feel right, it's okay to trust that. Trust the High Priestess within yourself. We have the Devil. And I feel like the Devil is kind of contrary to that, what I was just saying of trusting your intuition, because the Devil's going to sit there and try and get you to feel uncomfortable. It's going to push you into places where you may not want to go. And this isn't necessarily a negative thing, but it's, just trying to break you out of your shell a little bit, which, again, as a gardening seed example, that little seedling has to bust out of that shell to germinate and to grow. And sometimes it might need a little encouragement from outside factors. Like some seeds, like for the jack pine, those seeds germinate after forest fires, after extreme heat. There are other seeds that will only germinate after they have been frozen. So depending on your situation and your experiences in life, sometimes we do have to go through harder experiences to grow and to learn and to evolve as human beings. So with the Devil and the High Priestess together, it's almost like when you have hard times, when you're feeling challenged, you have the option of staying in your comfort zone, or you have an option to push through. And there's many different variations, there's many different levels of what that will look like for everyone. But it's about understanding that you do have that power, you do have that choice. And then your last tarot card is the Star. So again, reach for those dreams. There will be up and downs along the way, but that star is shining and directing you in the direction that you need to go. Since we're talking about the star, we do also have the Starseed Oracle, so let's see what these say. Oh, this is interesting. I was making, the garden reference, and we have the Courageous Peony. Multifaceted, unique nature, let yourself be seen. And I feel like that's a lot of what this Devil energy is, especially if you're introverted. Now, not all of you need to be, but if you are, sometimes it's hard to allow yourself to be seen. Sometimes it's hard to put yourself out there. And between the Devil and this card, It's telling you to, push those boundaries a little bit, allow yourself to be seen by others, and also allow yourself to be seen by yourself. Because a lot of the times we don't see ourselves for our own beauty, for our own unique characteristics. Not your last card, the last Starseed card. The next card is Cracked Open. Again, when I was saying, you gotta break through that shell sometimes. Rock Bottom, surrender to the alchemy of life. It's interesting that this reading is about healing, and there's so much about breaking open, and there's so much about being pushed out of your comfort zone. It's almost like for some of you, there is something that is a part of your existence that you're just totally ignoring. This could be past trauma. This could be an aspect of yourself that you've suppressed, whether you interpret this aspect of yourself to be negative or whether it was because of, lack of recognition and you kind of gave up on it. Lack of support could even be. But it's almost like to come into this next journey and to come into the best version of yourself for this moment. It is about acknowledging what that hurt, what that pain is. Because only when we can acknowledge it can we crack it open and release what is inside. If you hold on to that seed so tight and don't let it crack open, just protect it and keep it tucked away in the deep dark corners of your psyche, it will always continue to exist there. But when you can acknowledge it and when you can set it free, when you can allow love to grow from that seed instead of having it be something that triggers hurt and pain, then you will truly be able to move forward. Okay, let's move on to your herb cards. So we have Focus. I guess I should show you. Focus. Compassion. And Flow. So these three cards remind me that when you are letting love grow, when you are moving into this existence of happiness and of healing, there is this delicate balance between compassion and focus. If we focus too much on what needs healing, if we focus too much on what needs to be cracked open here, then sometimes we lose compassion for ourselves. We all have limits, we all have boundaries, and sometimes you have to listen to that. Sometimes you're at your wit's end when it comes to looking back, delving into shadow work, however you want to approach healing. To heal, you have to first acknowledge what is going on, right? If you go to the doctor with, say, a broken leg, you have to first diagnose that broken leg before it can be treated. And that needs to be done with both focus and compassion. And here we have the card of Flow. And flow always makes me think of the tidal currents, the push and the pull of the ocean, the ebb and the flow, the coming in and the going out of the tides. So, sometimes it's where we need to focus on sometimes it's compassion that we need to give ourselves. And other times we need to focus. Other times when we have the energy, when we have the strength, when we have the courage, that is when we need to focus on some of these harder issues. That might be this devil energy. Is when we have the capability to focus on that. And not all the time do we have that, and that's perfectly okay. Again, it's this balance, this ebb and flow of energy. Again, it's this balance kind of between the high priestess and the devil. And neither of these is positive nor negative. They're both leading you to the same direction. In this case, they're both leading you to the star, to your ultimate goal, to the healing, to letting love grow, to letting compassion build inside of you, to letting this courageous peony that is you bloom, and allowing your true nature, your true self to be seen. And it might even, this true self might be to be seen by you. You might be hidden to yourself. Oh, interesting. Okay, we have the card of encouragement. The mama giraffe encouraging her baby. The tender touch of a mother or of a parent, encouraging that baby to take those steps, encouraging them with love and compassion, and also a focused nature. I want to keep that card visible. And then we have the card of metamorphosis. There's just so much going on in this card. We have the butterflies, which are, ultimate symbols of metamorphosis and transformation. And we also have these flamingos who are developing a different kind of wing. But there's also this balance, this symmetry between these two flamingos in the way that they're looking. And yet there's no balance on the upper part of the card. It's very heavy to this side. It's like we've gone from here and we're moving forward. There is still balance within the chaos of every situation. Again, it's like this balance with the ebb and the flow of compassion and focus. And even here we have the cracked open card, and it's cracked open right down the middle. But if we look down here, it's not balanced. It's not, I shouldn't say it's not balanced, it's not symmetrical. It has moved to one side. Look at that heart. Never noticed that heart before. It almost mimics the shape created by the two flamingos' heads. It's almost a heart in the center there. Again, we must let love grow. We must love ourselves and allow that growth to allow that love, to move us into stages of growth when we are ready and when we feel capable and encouraged and willing to move forward. Last cards I have are the Moonology cards. So we have, you are very close to achieving your goal. The gibbous moon. Your dreams need a practical plan. A full moon in Taurus. And your commitment is being tested. The first quarter moon. This is interesting here because again, it's this interesting balance between your commitment is being tested and your dreams need a practical plan. It's like we've been saying all along. We need to step out of our comfort zones at time. That's that devil energy, that's that cracked open, that's that commitment being tested. And sometimes to help us along that journey, along this journey to healing and happiness and personal growth, sometimes you need a plan. This could be giving yourself time for meditation. This could be giving yourself time for compassionate activities, whatever that might be for each individual. That could be something like getting out and socializing. It could be cuddling up with a good book and just escaping reality. It could be cooking yourself a really delicious meal, something that allows you to exist in a state of self-compassion, of bliss, of that kind of energy, that kind of feeling where you are just having such a great time that time seems to stand still, and yet it goes so incredibly quickly, right? It stands still in a way that you don't realize that time is passing. You're not looking at the clock. You're not watching for signs of time progressing. You're just in the moment and just experiencing it and enjoying it and just being. I feel like that's a key word here, is being. Being you. Didn't they say that on one of these cards? Let yourself be seen is what it said. And so sometimes it might seem kind of easy, honestly, to think like, what, I just need to do something I enjoy in order to let love grow in my life. And yes, as simple and mundane as that sounds, it is completely true. Those moments in your life where you can just get wrapped up in the experience, that is allowing yourself to be compassionate to you. It's allowing the flow of energy. And especially if you can be in those moments with gratitude, if you can be in those moments with a mindset of witnessing the enjoyment that you are having, and with a mindset of just utter joy and allowing that experience to make you a better version of yourself. So again, like this gibbous moon says, you're very close to achieving your goals. It's almost like, there's just those little tweaks. Might be gratitude, might be meditation, might be allowing yourself to experience things that you just purely enjoy, to help you move into this energy of love. When you are having an amazing time and when you're truly loving the experience, then you may not even realize it, but you are existing in a vibration of love, and that will ultimately bring more love and more experiences like that, more experiences of joy into your life, and therefore allowing love to grow. So, pile number 1, that is your reading. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, please hit that subscribe button so that I can see you in the next video. Love, light, and happiness to all of you. Let love grow. I'll see you in the next video. Have a fantastic day. Bye. Hello to all of you who picked pile number 2 in this How Can You Be happy, healed, and living as the best version of yourself. Pick a card, tarot and oracle reading. We're going to start with the Magick Of You Oracle card, which will kind of give us an overview and guidance, a general theme for this reading. So you have the card of Euphoria. Honor yourself. I feel like that is a very powerful place to start this reading. In order to heal, in order to be at peak happiness, to be the best version of yourself, you must honor yourself. You must cherish yourself, see the value within you. Each and every single one of you is valuable. Each and every single one of you is worthy. Each and every single one of you is desirable. You are all unique and amazing in your own way. And honoring yourself for who you are, for your beauty, for your quirks, for your insecurities, allowing there to be honor and respect for all aspects of yourself will truly prove powerful within your life. So the first card we have is the Emperor. I do honestly feel like a lot of people who've picked this pile are female. Now, if you are male, this does not mean that this does not apply to you, but I just do feel a lot of feminine energy around this. And again, feminine energy does not equate to being female. So I guess I shouldn't say and again because I never mentioned that, but feminine energy does not equate to being female. So I guess I shouldn't even necessarily classify you as female. But there's a lot of feminine energy that I am sensing. And with this Emperor card, I'm feeling like a lot of you are feeling blocked from honoring yourself because of some kind of masculine energy in your life. This doesn't have to be a male figure. This is masculine energy. This is intellectual energy. This is strong energy, powerful energy. And I almost feel like some of you are toning down who you are, perhaps to be liked by this masculine energy, or perhaps to be dominant to, or subdominant to this masculine energy. But I feel like to really honor yourself, we need to move past this as being the definition of your value. We have the Page of Swords. This is moving into new energy. The Page of Coins, another page. And the Ten of Swords. Yes, you guys are definitely feeling burdened by some energy here. But with the two pages in the center, I feel like there's going to be something, someone, perhaps, that, and this someone could be yourself too. It could be like an event that triggers something. It could be a thought within your mind that triggers something. But there's this new energy, this new exuberant, this new youthful energy that is going to allow you to kind of reconnect with yourself while not changing anything. Like a lot of the times we think, if as we're growing and evolving and developing as human beings, we often think that we need to change. But I'm feeling like this energy is not really an energy of change. It might be an energy of perspective shift, but it's not an energy of feeling like you need to change anything. It's almost like a newfound confidence within your physical body This could be letting go of stereotypes around the space that you should take up as a human being, around the space that your physical body takes up. This could be something, again, in regards to your physical appearance, whether it is your beauty, your handsomeness, your just attractiveness in general. Perhaps it is doing affirmations, like just telling yourself every time you look in the mirror, like, I am beautiful. I am worthy of finding myself to be beautiful. I am worthy of finding someone who finds me beautiful. You know, something like that. And when you tell yourself that enough, when you tell yourself that I am beautiful, your physical body might not even change, and yet the way that you see yourself changes. And that's the kind of energy I'm feeling. It's starting with you feeling very burdened by something. And the way to get over this burden is going to be by honoring yourself. So it's going to be about sitting down and understanding where this weight on your shoulders is. And how can you change your perspective on this situation to allow yourself to move forward? Because we can't change the past. We can't change experiences that have happened to us, but we can change our perspective. We can change how we talk to ourselves about certain circumstances. We can change how we talk about ourselves to other people. And with these 2 pages, I'm just feeling like a big shift in energy in that way. Maybe the card of progress. Yeah. Definitely progressing forward from this energy of burden and of pain. And then we have dreams. The first thing that popped into my head right there when I was holding that card up is that for some of you, the answers you seek will be coming to you in dreams. So you may want to take a dream or keep a dream journal, because the messages might not be apparent within one dream. But if you can keep a dream journal so that you can look back and you can analyze the different patterns, the different characters that play out in your dreams, the different locations, the different circumstances, you may be able to see patterns that will allow you to progress forward. But for some of you, yes, your dreams are going to be very important in helping you healing and move forward. Okay? A sacred pool. Not only dream state, but also meditation. You may get visions during meditation. You may hear things that will help trigger this release, this perspective change. But the sacred pool card is also about giving yourself the space physically to do this healing work, to honor yourself. Giving yourself, I just heard the word float. So if you have an opportunity to do a float, like a saltwater float, that may be very beneficial for you. But giving yourself space to be kind to yourself, giving yourself space to connect with yourself is going to be a great way for you to move forward and to progress and to allow yourself to step into this page energy. Then we have the Wizard of Awareness, and it's a 3. And 3s are about cycles, and I feel like this is a changing cycle. There is a shift in the winds. You are coming into this newfound awareness. You are coming into this new energy. It's like when you can acknowledge what this oppressive energy is, this dominating energy is, and when you can identify the pain that this energy is causing you, that is when you will truly be able to honor yourself and begin to make this shift. So we have fall into my arms, surrender, holding the opposites, extremes of life. Yes, we are definitely dealing with extremes here, even just the visual representation of these cards, right? We've got the Emperor and the Ten of Swords. Very dark, very deep, very saturated in terms of color and their visual appeal. And then we have the 2 pages, light, airy, very free, like this person running through the grass with their coin. It's very exciting energy. And so I feel like it's this extreme here, and it's progress. It's moving out of the dark into the light. It is this contrast of energy, which sometimes we need those big contrasts to really be able to see what is going on. Those little things that irk you are usually not enough to cause you to make a change. It's the big things that happen that cause you and inspire you to make a change. And I feel like this isn't necessarily like a big event or anything that's going to happen, but there is going to be something that is triggering of this transformation, which will allow you to really step into this energy of honoring yourself. But I also want to point out here that on this card here, we have the ladder. And you don't just get to the top of the ladder, right? You have to go every single step, every single rung, one at a time, until you make your way to the top. You can't just get to the top of a 20-foot ladder without taking those steps. And then we have earth pulsing. Pulse of the mother. Slow down. Time in nature. I feel like that slow down was really reminiscent of what I was just saying with taking it one step at a time. This journey to honoring yourself. This isn't something that's one and done. It's not done overnight, and it's not immediate, and you're not going to see results like that, right? Snap of the finger, results aren't going to come. You need to slow down, experience the different stages, experience the extremes of life, surrender to the fact that this is life. This is a temporary human experience, and we are here to learn, we are here to grow, and we are here in this moment as we are. Honor yourself. Don't focus on who you think you should be. Don't focus on what your body should look like. Don't focus on who that person down the street thinks you should be. Because honestly, none of that matters. You need to be you in this moment, in the extremes of life, in the chaos and confusion and dreams and happiness and all of those fun things that make up life. The positives and the negatives. Without the negatives, we would never truly appreciate the positives. Let's move on to that's interesting. We have the South Node. Don't let your past hold you back, right? It's not about holding on to those negatives or positives or anything in the past. Honor yourself in this moment, in this current extreme of life. Take time to slow down and experience life as it is in this moment and really honor yourself in this moment. We have New Moon in Taurus, which is prosperity lies ahead. And we have the mutable moon, which is nothing is yet set in stone. And it's so interesting because sometimes as a tarot reader, you have people who ask you, but when can I expect this to happen? What is the timeline? When is this going to happen? When can I expect this page energy to show up? When can I expect this dream to happen? Nothing is set in stone, and nothing will ever be set in stone. Every moment in life is based on decisions that you make, paths that you take, journeys that you go on. And every decision, no matter how mundane, will change the course of your current reality. And that doesn't mean that anything, big, anything small, it doesn't mean anything, really. It means that even little decisions that you make, right? What are you going to have for dinner tonight? You can make that decision. You could have pizza, you could have salad. Neither of those options is good nor bad. Neither of those options is better than the other. But depending on that situation, depending on the decision that you make, will change your reality, right? You could take neither of those options. You could choose tacos instead. Because, everyone loves tacos, right? And you can make that decision to have tacos, even though 20 minutes ago you were really wanting that pizza. It's just that interesting dynamic and interesting way that you can really shift reality. You could even think like, oh, well, I was going to make myself something. Perhaps you were going to make yourself that salad. But then when you pulled the lettuce out of the fridge, you realized it had gone off, and now you're going to have something different for dinner. Is that a positive or a negative experience? Really, it's neither. It's just an experience. But it just shows how nothing is set in stone. Things are always changing, always evolving, always transforming our experience. And, some people might look at that example of the lettuce going bad in the fridge, be like, oh no, like now I can't eat healthy, and I need to get my vitamins and minerals through that salad. My leafy greens are so important, and that kind of talk. Really beat yourself up for not having that salad. Or someone else could be like, well, I don't really like salad anyway, so clearly the universe is telling me I don't need to eat salad today. It's about a perspective shift. It is about honoring yourself in the moment. Getting mad at yourself for letting the lettuce go bad is not honoring yourself. Being upset with yourself for not eating, a quote-unquote good, healthy meal. It's not honoring yourself. Sometimes situations happen. Sometimes you think, you know what? I mentally really need tacos today. And that's okay. Listening to that, honoring yourself, trusting that it's okay to eat tacos because they're delicious, right? Just do it. Prosperity lies ahead. Every time you allow yourself to be gentle with yourself for decisions that you make, every time you allow yourself to see yourself as making a good decision no matter the outcome, will set you up for more prosperity, more good decisions, more luck within your future. Don't dwell on those past decisions. Don't dwell on that past energy. It's time to move forward. So pile number 2, that is your reading. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, please hit that subscribe button so I can see you in the next video. Love, light, and happiness to all of you. Have a fantastic day. Bye. Hello to all of you who picked pile number 3, about how you can heal and be the happiest, best version of yourself. We're going to start with this card with the key. This is from the Magick Of You Oracle, where this reading is inspired from. And this card is phenomenon. Be still and listen to the spirits. I feel the main message this card is giving us is that you have the answers you seek. You have them within you, or you have the capability to find them within you, and you need to be still and listen to the guidance that is coming. Whether this is something that is ingrained in your subconscious that you have not yet been able to tap into, this could also be in the form of a download, like a psychic message, an intuitive message. But the reason I'm saying that the information you need is within you, because I feel like those messages are coming from your higher self. Whether you see your higher self as something inside of you, or whether it is external to you, I feel like the messages on how you can heal, how you can be the best version of yourself, are coming from your higher self. So again, whether that is internal or external, whatever you believe, but I do feel like those messages are there. You just have to listen. So for a lot of you, this may be learning to meditate, learning to quiet the mind. Meditation is a practice. It is not something that most people can just sit down and sit in silence for half an hour. A lot of times when you start meditating, you may be able to keep a quiet mind for 30 seconds. Then the more you do it, maybe you get to a minute, 5 minutes, 10 minutes. And even, I've been meditating for years now. And I will do a 30-minute meditation when time allows. But even then, I will have voices and, stuff like my own voice, not exterior voices, but my own voice, my own thoughts, crossing through as I'm meditating. But part of learning to meditate is to just be able to observe those thoughts. It's not about sitting in absolute silence with no thoughts. It's about not responding and not reacting to thoughts when they come through. So for a lot of you, again, it's not about finding complete stillness and complete silence. It does say listen to the spirits. Listen to those thoughts that are going through your head. But you do have to be able to be still. You have to be able to concentrate on the fact that you're just there to observe. You're just there to listen. If you start responding and you start engaging with those thoughts in your head, then you're steering them in a direction that might not give you the answers that you want. So it's about just practicing to be still, to meditate, and to listen. Let's move on to your tarot cards. So we have the 9 of Cups. We have the King of Wands. And we have the 3 of Wands. Interesting, this color palette that we have here. We have a lot of golds showing through. Even though this 9 of Cups is a blue background, there's still a lot of gold showing on the cups themselves. The color gold, the color yellow, really makes me think of prosperity, of wealth, of luck. And so I almost wonder if whoever picked this group has a bit of a block around money, around wealth, around their perception of whether they are willing to receive wealth. I just realized my lights had shut off. There we go. They're gold as well. Let's bring some of that energy in. So a lot of this, this stillness may be around monetary or financial decisions that you have. But I mean, we have Nine of Cups. That's a very good wealth card. You can see he's got lots of options. This is a card about gratitude. We have the King of Wands. So focusing on your passions, focusing on what excites you to move forward. But it is a king, so it's kind of like, you know, top of the game. So perhaps moving forward, it's about focusing on being being grateful for where you are while you're on this journey to level up on so many different levels. Level up spiritually, level up emotionally, level up financially. And the Three of Wands is a card about looking to the future, but also being grounded and rooted in where you are. So again, that kind of encompasses the Nine of Cups, grounded, grateful kind of energy, with the King of Wands looking forward to the future, looking into the future, and seeing wealth and abundance and luck and success and prosperity, and however else you want to term it. But when we're talking about this in terms of healing, and we're talking about it in terms of being happy and of being the best version of yourself, I feel like this is kind of what's holding you back. Finances, I get it, are so important, right? We need to manage our finances. Everyone on some level is concerned about money, and that is just a part of life. There are things we can control, there are things we can't control. But it's how do we interact and respond to these stimuli throughout our day-to-day and throughout our thought patterns as well. This might be, tying it back to this card, the Phenomenon card. This might be catching yourself when you're criticizing yourself for your financial situation. This might be catching yourself when you talk bad about yourself, perhaps in terms of your career, your job, or again, money. Instead of looking at it from a place of lack, shifting and seeing the story that you are telling yourself and how you can improve that story. You don't have to change your monetary situation for your story to change, right? If you have $1 or $1,000, there's going to be different ways you spend that money. But even people with $1,000, and now I know $1,000 isn't a lot for a lot of people, but it is also a lot for a lot of people. Some people with $1 will save that dollar. Some people with $1,000 will spend that $1,000. Some people with $1 will spend it. Some people with 1,000 will spend it. But people are not spending money at every single moment of the day. So even if you have to, play the budget balancing game because you only have that dollar, or because your means is more than the $1,000, you're sometimes you do have to budget, right? You have to be aware of the money that you're spending. You have to be aware of what's coming in versus what's going out. But when you're not concerned about money, when you're not concerned about spending something, like if you are sitting there eating your dinner, or if you are watching TV or playing with your kids or playing with your dog or your cat or whatever, going for a walk, notice in those situations when money really isn't apparent, isn't really involved in the situation, where your thoughts go. We can exist in a place of gratitude for the money that we have, even if we have to budget our money. I hope that's making sense, right? Even if you have unlimited funds, if you have all the money in the world, those people do not spend money every moment of their day, right? Just like people with limited funds do not spend money every moment of their day. So you can exist kind of in a place of lack and not having enough, but still being grateful for what you have and still feeling abundant in what you do have and still having that mindset of abundance in between the really more calculated moments. I hope that makes sense. If not, let me know down in the comments and we'll try and have another conversation about that. But it's just, a lot of people say, I don't have enough money, so I really need to be focused on the amount of money I have, and when I'm spending, I need to think about it. You do need to be careful. You don't want to spend beyond your means, but you don't have to be thinking about money in every second of the day. You can be grateful for what you have without relating it to the lack of money. Hopefully that clears up. Okay, let's go with your Enchanted Map. So we have the card of Moonlight and the card of Mountain. Interesting. Okay, so we have the Moonlight. I guess I should hold them up. We have the Moonlight card. Sorry, the Mountain card. But we have, look at the moon, like casting on that mountain. And then we have the Moonlight card. And look at this beautiful owl within the moonlight. Other symbols that stick out on this card to me are the butterfly wings, or the wings in general on this woman. And the hourglass, the sand pouring through the hourglass. But the first message that came to my head, especially with this mountain card, was don't make a mountain out of a molehill. Do you know that saying? Sometimes things seem a lot bigger than they are. And I feel like a lot of this has to go back to this: be still and listen to the spirits. If you feel like you are prone to overanalyzing, overthinking, overreacting, then learning meditation, learning to calm the mind, learning to quiet the mind, I feel is really going to be beneficial for you moving forward, so that you have more control over your thoughts and your reactions. You can take something that's really small and turn it into this big, gigantic, solid rock of a mountain, which is impossible to move, or seemingly impossible to move. Especially in the dark times, right? When we're down and in a funk and not mentally feeling too good, that's when those little things really do become apparent. But sometimes we need to allow the moonlight to shine in, even in the darkness, to see perhaps nuances or little things that maybe we didn't notice before. Perhaps we notice a tunnel through the mountain. Perhaps we notice a path around it. Perhaps we realize that that mountain isn't as big as we thought it was. By allowing the moonlight in, we are allowing this transformation, this change to come over us. With the symbolism of the owl here, I feel like this is knowledge that is coming over you. It's the wise old owl kind of symbolism. And then we also have the hourglass with the sand. And that is not a quick-paced time-telling device, right? You're not watching the seconds go by. Sure, you're seeing the sand granules go down, but it's almost, again, it's almost meditative to watch those sand crystals kind of, disperse down through the tiny little gap between the two sides of the hourglass. And really, if no one's looking and you need more time, you can just flip the hourglass over. I used to love playing with the little hourglasses that came in a lot of board games when I was a kid. I would just love to sit and watch the sand filter down and flip it over and just keep going. And I would do that over and over and over again. I loved it. So, again, quiet the mind, meditation, perhaps something like that. Perhaps meditating with an hourglass. I don't know if you can find hourglasses anywhere. It would be interesting to look. Meditating with an hourglass, or again with this gold energy, it could be to a candle flame or in the moonlight. But when you're able to calm your mind and allow that moonlight to come in, we often see things that we wouldn't have otherwise noticed. So we have karmic relationships, Orion energy, polarity, soul growth, conflict. It is through conflict that our soul grows, transforms, and emerges as the spiritual being on the other side of our temporary human experience. And then we have, speaking of temporary human experience and listening to the spirits, we have child of the cosmos. The intelligence of the universe lies within you. Heavy psychic vibes for a lot of you. So I don't know if some of you identify as psychic or have not yet tapped into that ability, but definitely communication beyond yourself, I feel, is very capable. Is very something you may be capable of, and it may be part of the healing and growth process as you move into being the best version of yourself. Okay, we have the card of reflection. And what is moonlight? It is just the reflection of the sun on the moon. And then we have the card of stimulate. I feel like what it's telling you to stimulate is your mind, is your capability, is your spirit within. It's this soul growth. It's this intelligence of the universe that lies within you. And it's interesting because we have the depiction of a brain here, the mind, very much observing the mind environment as we go through this process. Then your your Moonology cards. We have the fixed moon, which is hold your vision. Is that focused? And then we have balance, spirituality, and practicality, which is the full moon in Pisces. I feel like for a lot of you, you really have been weighing more towards the practicality side, and it is time to embrace that more spiritual side, and perhaps even the more practical side of spirituality. You know, meditation is not only good for spiritual people. Everyone can benefit from meditation. Everyone can benefit from learning to calm your mind and relax your body and be present in the moment. Meditation doesn't have to just be for enlightenment. It can literally be to calm the physical body on all sorts of different levels, mentally, but also physically. Sometimes there's days where it's just you're so riled up. And those are times when I feel like I need to step away and take time to calm everything. So I feel like creating this balance will really help you to heal and to move forward into becoming this happy and best version of yourself. So that is your reading, pile number 3. I hope you enjoyed this reading. If you did, please hit that subscribe button so I can see you in the next video. Love, light, and happiness to all of you. Have a fantastic day. Bye. Last but not least, pile number 4. We're going to start with the Magick Of You card, which is the deck that inspired this entire reading, about how we can be happy and healed in the best version of ourselves. You got the card of solitude, alone, but not lonely. I feel like this card is telling you to take time for yourself, to be with yourself, to be with your thoughts, your feelings, especially your feelings. So many of us run away from our emotions and how those emotions feel within our bodies. You know, we don't want to feel the anger. We don't want to feel the pain. We don't want to feel sadness. A lot of us don't even really fully allow ourselves to feel happiness or joy or ecstasy. You run away even from those types of feelings. So I kind of want to challenge all of you who picked this deck to really just sit in the moment and feel what you are feeling. You'd be surprised. Sometimes you think you're just having an okay day, you know, it's just a quiet time. You can take the time and you sit and you think. And not even like purposefully think, but just kind of observe what your body is feeling emotionally. And it's amazing how many times people will well up with emotions that they didn't even know their body was holding on to. You know, sometimes that weird feeling in your gut is actually sadness, but you just don't let it come out, so it remains just that sitting there in your gut, in your stomach. Sometimes, you know, you'll get a headache and it's actually anger or frustration or something that you're suppressing and not wanting to feel. So I challenge you guys, you ladies, you people, to sit and observe how you're actually feeling. And if that's any indication, we have the 9 of Swords. That's a lot of pain that I feel a lot of you are feeling. The World. The 2 of Coins. And the Knight of Swords. Interesting energy there. So, with the 9 of Swords, this is a very heavy, emotional card. Pain. This could be the loneliness that this card is potentially hinting at. We have the World with the world with this beautiful woman. But if we look at her, she doesn't necessarily have the most perfect and the most idyllic idolized. I don't know. Doesn't have the most perfect features, right? You know, she's just human. She's just there as she is. But she knows the world is hers. She's sitting up there just owning it. Breast out, stomach out, just being in control of herself and her existence. And then we have the Two of Coins. And this card is about decisions. So we have, let me make sure it's focused on the right card. It doesn't want to focus on it. Maybe not. So we have the Two of Coins. And it's about decisions. And with this context, I feel like it's this decisions between owning your experiencing, owning your world, or being overcome and overwhelmed with it. And it's kind of like this saying, alone but not lonely. You can be by yourself. You can be alone and not be lonely. But there are many people who hear solitude, who hear alone, who hear, by themselves, and take that to be a very negative thing. They don't want to be alone for the rest of their life. They don't want to be alone in a situation. But there are a lot of positives that can come out of being alone. Understanding your own personal strength, understanding your emotions in a situation. When we have other people around us, sometimes we feed off their energy and we use their emotions to mask our own. Now, there are times when that is needed. There are times when, sure, no one wants to be alone. Perhaps you're grieving, or perhaps you are just lonely, lacking social contact. Especially this day and age with the global circumstances, there are a lot of people who are feeling lonely. But being alone should not automatically default to being lonely. And it's kind of a perception shift. Like, I myself am alone in this room right now, but I'm not lonely. I've got all of you watching. I've got all of you listening and taking in this information. I've got, my family and my dog downstairs. They're here, but they're not here at the same time. And, it's kind of a Pandora's box. I mean, right now I'm in a room with the door closed. I could open that door and they could be there or they could not be there. Now I can hear my children playing. I hope that it's not picking up on camera, but I do know that they're there. I can hear them. But while I am alone, and I am choosing to be alone so that you don't have to hear my kids, there's time and place for everything, and we need to take control of when we feel like we can handle being alone and when we feel like we can't. Unfortunately, for a lot of people right now, the governments of places all around the world are putting in restrictions that are making you feel lonely, and there's really nothing that can be done. Well, I mean, there is stuff that can be done, but for a lot of people, it feels like there's nothing that can be done. But we also are very grateful to be living in a day and age where we might not be able to have the physical touch of other people like we're used to, but we can still have connection. We can still share our thoughts and experiences and life with other people, even if at the moment we cannot. But with this Knight of Swords, this is a very fast-moving card. He's a very fast-moving knight. And it's like this current situation of being lonely is temporary. It will move forward. It will change. So you can take this opportunity to grow, or we can take this opportunity to sit and feel the burden. We can take this opportunity to feel this burden and understand how we can move forward from it. Or we can take it and really allow it to overcome us and overwhelm us and burden us. And it's a decision that many of us have to make on a daily basis. It's interesting. We have I'm sorry, defenselessness, righting past wrongs, uprooting. With that, I'm feeling like, what's it called? Ho'oponopono? I'm sorry if I'm saying that wrong. I will put it on the screen here for us. Hopefully I remember to do that. But it's a meditation. It's a Hawaiian meditation which says, I'm sorry. Please forgive me. I love you. Thank you. And you repeat those phrases. I think I have that in the right order. I hope I have that in the right order. But you repeat those phrases, and it's a healing, releasing meditation. It starts with I'm sorry. Perhaps it is I'm sorry, and not even saying you're sorry to other people, but it's to yourself. It's for this burden, it's for this pain, it's for this emotion. And then we have the card of lifting the veil, questioning everything. Anything unaligned must go. Is this pain in alignment with where you want to go? And if not, we need to acknowledge this pain. We need to acknowledge that it's not what we want to hold on to, and we need to let it go. Easier said than done, I totally understand. But the first step is to acknowledge it. And honestly, being in solitude and allowing yourself to feel these emotions will be the first step to acknowledging it. Some of you might not even realize that you're holding on to this burden until you allow yourself to feel it. We have the dry desert. So don't go searching for something. Don't go searching for this pain, this hurt. If it doesn't come to you, like if you are sitting trying to feel your emotions and this doesn't come to you, that's perfectly okay, right? For some of you, this will come right away. For some of you, you may need to break through layers upon layers upon layers before this surfaces. And for some of you, this might not ever surface. But we don't need to go searching and searching and searching for it. If you find yourself in the dry desert and you find yourself in absolute need, then you must do what you need to do. But until that need arises, we just need to experience what is there in front of us. And then we have the card of Talisman. And this card is interesting because, so she has her talisman for luck. And we see this winding path, right? But what it might be hard to see is that right here, there's like a pothole. a dip in the road, and she is stepping off the path to go around it, to not fall into it. And we combine it here with this dry desert. It's like, don't you wish that you had a path through that desert to find your way to the watering hole, to find your way out? But that path might not be yours, right? Even on this, she's stepping aside. But maybe that, whatever it is, the pothole, whatever it is, maybe that's a warning saying that she's not even on the right path. Perhaps it's hinting that this isn't your path, this is someone else's path. You need to forge your own path. You don't need to be alone or lonely on this journey, but it is yours alone to discover. We have the card of guidance. Perhaps that path is yours. We have the card of acceptance. I love this card because we've got the two eyes here and the flower, the herb, the valerian is kind of encompassed here by the sun. I mean, it's on all the herbs, but it's just, I love it on this card because it's like right at the third eye. So it's like this guidance is not from outside. This guidance is from within you. And then we have the card of soothe, which kind of has been the theme all along. Allow yourself to experience and to feel your emotions so that you can soothe, so that you can heal, so that you can move forward from them. The guidance you seek is within. The guidance to take action like this night, to make the decision and to have the world all your own is within. And perhaps that's why we're hinting at solitude and being alone, but not lonely. You know, you can surround yourself with family and friends, but still be guided by your own intuition, by your own guiding light. Not theirs, but yours. We have end of a tough cycle approaches. Full moon in Capricorn. We have the card of meditate and contemplate. Take time to focus on you and to allow your emotions and your feelings to move through you, to move through your experience. You know, you can allow them to come into your experience and acknowledge them and accept that they are there, and then allow them to continue on and allow this end of this tough cycle to come and to complete, and then to begin another cycle. When we can lift the veil and see what's holding us back, and when we can apologize to ourselves for holding on to that energy we no longer need, we no longer desire, and no longer have use for. When we can say, you know what, I'm sorry for holding on to this for so long, but I am ready to let go. Let's move forward. Then that is when you will really allow yourself to exist in solitude and be alone without being lonely. I hope you enjoyed this Tarot and Oracle reading, group number 4. I enjoyed reading for you today. If you enjoyed this reading, please hit that subscribe button, and I will see you in the next video. Love, light, and happiness to all of you. Have a fantastic day. Bye.